Hey, I'm seriously, I wasn't kidding about what Jen was saying. She said your classes are amazing. She said the portraits you took yesterday are off the chain.
Thank you guys so much. I hate when people give me compliments because I don't know what to do with myself. I'm just like blushing.
Well, you should be here that when we do the blind photo critiques, we don't get a lot of compliments.
Yeah.
It's usually like, you need to sell your gear. But I was a fan of yours, so I want to take credit for finding her because I was a fan of yours. I was following you on YouTube.
And that is so crazy to me. And you see, this is the power of social media, right? Because I'm just a girl from like a small town in Ukraine. That's where I came from.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I'm a boy from a small town in Ukraine, but go ahead.
And I never thought that I'm going to be doing stuff like this. And this is super exciting to me. Like, this was actually, I was just talking in the interview that we just filmed that this was one of my goals, to be an instructor and to do a little bit more of teaching. And I was so happy that it actually happened. Well,
it's because you're really good at it. No, I've watched so many of your videos and I'm like, wow, she's a great photographer. She's clever. You find a way to do things, I think, like, I don't want to say on a budget, but on a budget. But the results are amazing. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you're so good. So we're so happy to have you here at KelbyOne. And today we are going to be talking about how to get more followers on social media, which is right up your alley. So we'll be talking about that. And I know that it's something everybody wants to do. But I think it's important to say something. There's lots of movement here. The audio's bad. But while we're doing this, while we're messing with the audio, let's say hi to some folks who are tuning in. So you take the top one and I'll take the next one. And then we only say their first names because nobody can ever pronounce Matthias's last name. So we just start at the top.
Yeah, Tom says hi. Hello from Southern California.
All right. Matthias is here from a dark Sweden.
Johan.
We know Johan. He's okay. He's a good guy.
From Netherlands. How do you say that?
Norwegian?
Norwegian.
I'm just guessing. But it's somewhere in the Netherlands. Now, and go ahead and see if you can get the next one.
Is it Cheeky?
It's Cheeky.
Oh, it's Cheeky. Cheeky Nando. Cool.
Cheeky Nando. So Cheeky Nando is an awesome guy. He's a photographer based in Australia. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. He's a landscape photographer, top-notch landscape photographer. He just started portraits. Mm-hmm. He sends me like his first portrait. Like, here's the first one I did. And I'm like...
And it's good?
Oh, it was ridiculously good. It was like, it's one of those ones where you go, did he just pull this off of somebody's website? No, he's really, really good. Awesome. So he will be watching your classes for sure.
Oh, that's cool because I'm horrible at landscape. Like, horrible. I've tried it.
Really?
The only way I can make it interesting for myself is if I put a person in there.
No, that's good though.
I still need to put a person.
No, well, there's a whole genre of landscape photography now that has a person in it, and it's becoming very, very popular. I like it myself. There are certain shots that I see now that I realize if that person wasn't in there, this would just be another landscape shot.
Totally, because it makes it, especially I love it whenever the scenery is so out of this world, and then someone is in there that it's like hard to believe that that person actually got to that spot. You know,
they were probably composited in.
A lot of the times they are, but it makes it. I really love the feel of those pictures. It makes it even more like unbelievable.
It does. Really cool. True that. Deb says, Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy Valentine's to all you lovers out there.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day.
I always forget.
I never.
You don't?
No. And I'm happy to say that I got my wife's Valentine's gift, the earliest ever, and we've been married 29 years this year. I got it the earliest ever because I knew exactly what she wanted, and I haven't given it to her yet, so I can't tell you what it is. I could tell you on the break or off air. But anyway, I got her this very special thing, and I can't give any more clues about it. But I got it so early. I'm so proud of myself, I can't even tell you. I want to black out. Because it's hard getting her, 29 years, you're like, I've run out of stuff to get. So anyhow, but so I am excited about that. And I just want to wish a happy to all you lovers out there, like Juan. Where's Juan? Did he leave? Is he still in like nothing works mode? Oh, God, there he is. Oh, gosh, he's hidden. There he is. I missed him there. Hey, Tim's here, says good afternoon from Advisable, Virginia. Hey, that's your...
Leon says, greetings from sunny Southern Maryland.
Wait a minute. Did we just see Juan's... Yes, there's Juan's Instagram. So every show, for a reason we can't even begin to understand, We show Juan's Instagram account. Go follow _
I'm gonna go follow him right now.
Yes, absolutely, you should. I'm not kidding. He's got a really interesting Instagram feed. And see how he looks like all mean and everything in the picture? Juan is the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, he is the sweetest
Isn't
guy.
he? Does he rock? But look at go look at his picture. Look at his Instagram header picture. Seriously. Scroll back up.
Okay, I see.
Look at him. He looks like I'm a hitman. He looks like he's in a gang.
I'll take a better portrait of Juan later.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you need a good, let her get a really good shot of you. All right, I want to get to our topic, but I just want to say hi to some people real quick.
Yeah.
Hilmar's here. Bridget says, hi, Kelby family. Happy Valentine's Day to you all. Thank you, guys. Chris Henry's here from Northern Ireland. Stefan from Germany. Carl's here from Melbourne, Florida. That's really great. Oh, it's probably not. Gabriel's here from Sweden. Jacob's here from Denmark. Glad to have you guys here with us. We're going to have a fun day. Let's talk about our giveaways real quick because I want to get to our topic. Giveaways. We're giving away are we giving away a Platypod? Yes, a Platypod Pro. This is the, Platypod Max. This is the big daddy. So you got a big camera. You need a big Platypod. You want the Max. Then we're giving away a Platypod Ultra. It's the Kickstarter Kick of the Year. Everybody wants one? Almost every. Do you have one of these?
Oh.
You know what they do?
I'm like the most technically disabled person.
No, this is what it is. This is so you know how you can't use a tripod in some places?
Yeah.
Because the tripod police come? You use this instead. You screw a ball head on here. It sits right on here. You can put it on the floor. You can strap it to stuff.
Really
you could literally strap it right on here.
You know what? That would be super useful for me when I'm shooting my YouTube videos. Because sometimes there's some locations where I cannot put my camera on a tripod somewhere. That would be so useful strapping it to
We're
a
going to
tree.
get you one of these right here. You're going to win one just because you're a guest. But you and Irene can both have one of these. We're going to be giving one of these away later. But that's what they're for, and they're the greatest. They are. Everyone that has one loves one. We love them. They're a sponsor of the show. So all I can say is God bless Platypod. We're giving away a copy of my flash book, which we've been doing about every week here until I write another one. I have another one written. Hadn't gone to press, but I've got one. Ooh, it's a good one. And then, because you're here and we're doing portraity stuff, we're giving away Peter Hurley's The Headshot. Booyah! There we go. Peter Hurley's book. We're going to give it away today. All right, now, I need you guys to do something. This is important. Tomorrow, Thursday, the 15th, February 15th, is the deadline to enter the Lexar KelbyOne architecture contest. If you take architectural photography, and this can be architecture during travel, any kind of architecture, indoors, outdoors, whatever, you got to enter the contest. It's free. You don't have to pay anything to enter, but you could win some like crazy Lexar memory cards, like 2,000 speed. They have 2,000 speed cards now, 128 gig. There's all these other. I'm choosing the winners. Come on, how hard can it be? I'm going to go, that looks good. That's pretty. Let's go with that one. Anyway, I'm picking a winner and some second place and some runners up. Everybody wins prizes. You can find out about it on my blog. If you go to Scott Kelby and you type in the word Lexar, it'll come up. Or you can go over to the KelbyOne. Follow us on Instagram. Go to, what is it on Instagram? We're not just KelbyOne. I think it is just KelbyOne. KelbyOne Pics. So go to KelbyOne Pics. All the details are there. Or you can go to my blog, scottkelby.com, and it tells you how to or you can go to @Lexar Memory, Lexar Memory, and all the details are there. You have till tomorrow night. What do you have to lose? Seriously, what do you have to lose? Talking to you, let me think who I want to say. Johan, you should be in there for sure. Lyle, ooh, there's Lyle. Lyle.
He wants me to put one in one of my vintage dresses and shoot it with the 1.2. Well, he got
you
it.
have to shoot Juan with 1.1. He has Juan has specified a special f-stop that very few people use. He's a 1.1 guy. And look, Hilmar says Juan is a really nice guy. Yeah, will you get a shot of Juan for his Instagram? Because he looks like he's not that guy.
I agree.
Yeah, and you want people to look at your picture and go, I love that guy. I want to follow him, not like, if I follow him, will he come to my house and kill me? Hey, Joe Scudda. I think it's Joe Scudda says, hey, it's Irene. Sup, y'all? You know Joe?
No, but...
Apparently he follows you on YouTube.
Joe DM me. You'll talk.
Hey, Paul, look, Paul says, I've been watching since the first grid, and this is the first time I commented.
The first time.
Paul, where have you been, buddy? We need you in those comments. We want you in those comments.
Have that.
You do. She brings out. Oh, there's your page. Right there. Oh my God, you've got 279,000 subscribers. Holy, I can't even count that high.
Getting close to 300. I'm
oh my
super
gosh.
excited. I'm going to get a cake.
Oh yeah, you should.
300K on
Do you know what, when you get to 300,000, do you know what YouTube does?
What?
They cancel your account.
Oh, no.
Anyway, no, I'm just totally kidding. Just totally messing with you. Anyway, join it. Go do that Lexar contest. What do you have to lose? They're not going to post a picture and go, this one didn't win. What a loser. No, you're only going to see the winners. You have absolutely, and you never know what the judge is going to like. So send it in. There's no one watching today that shouldn't have a picture that you've taken of a building or an interior or a church or whatever that you go, oh, nope, I can't enter it. You've got to one. But Cheeky Nando says tomorrow is my birthday. Who cares about the contest? Okay, do you sing? I don't know. Do you sing at all?
A little bit, I guess.
We have to sing Cheeky
happy
Nando.
birthday.
Yeah, because he's
let's do it. Okay.
All right, Jen, Enar. Enar's here. Hey, Enar from Iceland is here. So Enar is the king of photography. So Enar is in the comments most of the time. You see Enar saying, he's here in our audience. He's here from Iceland. So now, Enar, does the government know you're here? Because if they do, they're going to kick you out. No, don't tell them? Okay. All right, because we don't want anybody here. Anyway, here we go. We're going to sing Cheeky Nando Happy Birthday. Jen, I want to hear it from there. Juan, backing me up, buddy? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Cheeky Nando. What else do I have to call Fernando? Happy birthday to you. Hey, cheers and an Amazon thing and blah, blah, blah. All right. Hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take a short break. Hey, somebody's new here. Excited to watch the grid live for the first time?
Oh, that's
Whale?
so cool.
What do you think his name? Whale? W-A-E-L?
Probably, yeah.
Whale? All right, we're going to go with that. Anyway, we're gonna take a break because Irene, your audio is still not great.
Maybe I should talk a little bit louder.
No, it's not you. It's not you. No, it's Jen.
Oh no.
No, but we have other mics. We can replace all kinds of things. So, but you can take us to break. You can say, hey, we're gonna take a short break. We'll be right back. All that kind of stuff. But it's because you've got this down.
You want me to?
Yeah, you're.
Okay. We're gonna take a short break, guys, and we're gonna be right back with you after I fix my audio.
Oh yeah. All right. Well done.
You know what I forgot? I don't know.
Well, hi, folks, and welcome to part 2 of Mastering the Natural Light Portrait. In this class, we're going to pick up right where the other class left off. We're going to take the same images that we shot in that class, and I'm going to take you through the entire post-processing. Now, some of the times it'll be very subtle stuff. Sometimes it'll take a lot more. Sometimes we'll add even special effects to get that final look that we're looking for. But not only are you going to learn it all, I'm going to give you all of the high-resolution original RAW files so you can download them and follow right along with the class. So check out my new class, Mastering the Natural Light Portrait Part 2 Post-Processing, and that's found exclusively here at KelbyOne.
Howdy folks, Moose Peterson here. Brand new class on the Nikon D850. This is a beautiful camera. It has all this speed, it has all this quality. How do you make the most out of it? That's what we're going to cover. Basics like what these buttons do, how you can reassign the buttons to do something else, customized for your photography. How about all these menu settings and all these options? They're complicated. We go through all those. You even get a PDF of all my settings so you're good to go right from the box. At the same time, we're going to talk about time-lapse, video, all the great fun this camera can bring and get the most quality. So make sure to check it out exclusively here on KelbyOne.
Hey, this is Justin Wojak with 375 Photography in Atlanta, Georgia. Are you a photographer that wants to make the jump into video and you just don't know what to do? You're too nervous to hit that video button in the back of your camera or what editing program to use? Well, guess what? We have the answer right here on this brand new course at KelbyOne. We're going to walk you through everything that you need to know to understand video, to shoot video, but most importantly, to edit it and to have a final product that will add an additional income stream to your business. So be sure to check out this course.
Hello, I am Trey Ratcliffe, and I'm here to show you some new software. I just completed a new course for KelbyOne for this thing called Photograph Pro. What's Photograph Pro? Well, it allows you to take any still image and animate it. You know, there's not a lot of new stuff in photography nowadays, and this thing to me is just incredible. It might look a little complex, but really anyone can do this. And just super fun. I think you're gonna have a blast with it. Oh, I could just look at that all day. Remember, this is a single photo. This is a picture I took in the Valley of Fire. Man, I just can't get enough of this stuff. I love it. I love it. And I hope you love it too. All right, well, come sign up for the class. You'll have a great time. We go through lots of examples together. I can't wait for you to see this software. So join me.
Howdy, folks. Moose Peterson here in sweltering Tampa, Florida. Whole brand new class on Nikon wireless flash. Yeah, taking this brand new technology, taking all this great stuff, applying it to what we have to do as photographers, milled light, quick, seamlessly, and most importantly, having fun. So make sure you check out my class exclusively on KelbyOne.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Tamron, professional photographic lenses.
Hey, so there is a new Lightroom. We'll talk about it on the next break, but I want to get to our topic. So we're talking about how to build your social media following. Mm-hmm. Well, you have a ridiculous social media following. Can we start with YouTube?
Well, it can be bigger. I'm always aiming at the higher number, but it's just so important in this day and age to have following. And, you know, I hear a lot of like older folks always tell me like, well, I'm not really interested, or I don't know how to do it. Like, you young people, you know how to do it, but I don't. But that's the thing with photography, you know, the technological part is in there, and you really have to follow the trends. If you don't know something, you're going to have to learn it. So It's really important, and even those that are not really into should get.
Now, this is before your time, but there was a whole thing where we switched from film to digital. Mm-hmm. And a lot of guys and women that have been shooting film for a long time, they did not want to make that transition. They did not want to make that move, and they were really intimidated by it, and they knew they had to learn Photoshop. So, yeah, if you want to move ahead, you're going to have to learn the new stuff. And Instagram, while Facebook seems to be kind of waning for a lot of people.
Facebook is quite dying away a little bit. Instagram is definitely something that I would recommend for all photographers. I mean, it's an app to share your image. So what better way to share your images than Instagram?
Oh, yeah. And I love your Instagram feed. You know what's nice? Can we bring her feed back up? Let's see if we can find it real quick. And they're all scrambling. Here we go. You know what's great is you can really see a style and a mood. Yeah. And like you realize like, wow, even though you have black and whites in there, you have different, you know, these were taken by the same photographer.
Yeah. And that is something that I find is very, very important. Even I was talking to Jen about this earlier. Your grid in general, the way your feed looks is very important as well. So not only the individual images, but how they look all together. When someone is just looking at your Instagram, they're going to take like a glance at your profile and they're going to decide if they want to follow you or not. If you have a lot of pictures that are kind of crumbled in there, and you have a landscape here, portrait here, and then a picture of your cat, and then just a selfie or something like that. People are just not attracted to that type of stuff. They want to see a specific style that is consistent throughout, because some people are interested in landscape, some people are not, right? So if in my page I had a bunch of landscapes and then a bunch of portraits, you know, it's kind of conflicting. So people that follow me, you know, they like this kind of stuff. They take one look at my feed and they know exactly what they're going to get.
Right, and I think knowing what to expect, like they follow you because they're like, wow, this is what I expect.
Exactly.
All of a sudden you throw a landscape in there, I'm like, huh? That's when people literally hit unfollow, is when you're all over the place. Now, and I think one of the reasons why, Irene, this is just me speculating, that people do that, they show their cat, and that's what celebrities do. When you're a celebrity, they want to see your cat. They want to see what you had for breakfast. What you had for breakfast is interesting. You know, if you're apparently like a Kardashian or something, people care. But if you're a photographer, if you're following someone for photography,
100%. That's one
I
of the
wanna
points
see
that
your
I always
photography.
make as well. 100%. If you're a photographer, I would 100% separate your personal images from your work. If you really want to keep those personal images, create a personal Instagram. I have a personal Instagram as well, where I post pictures of my cute dog and my selfies and my outfits and all of that stuff. So I still get to do that. I still get to share those images. And then on my professional page, I'll share only my.
So this is going to sound weird, but I have a private, or my personal, I would say, Instagram page. But you know what's weird? They are all shots of Juan. It's the weirdest thing. I know, but
It probably has a lot of followers.
He is incredibly photogenic. He really is. All right. So can we go back and look at her feed? I'm sorry to keep doing this for you. Look at this. Chiquinando says, I'm stunned. How come I've never heard of Irene before? I'm loving her portraits. Dude, her portraits are amazing. What I wanted to point out is something that I think you're doing really, really well here, is take a look at the bottom row there. It's the same model. It's the same outfit. It's 3 different poses. But it looks so great in your grid, right? And then those are naughty above that. Those are.
Oh.
Did Jen take those? Usually when clothes are off, it's Jen that's the photographer. If we see something getting naughty, we're like, it's got to be Jen there. But I think it looks wonderful. Can we scroll back up a little higher?
Yeah,
because
if you go to the very top, you can see the 3 of my new images.
Right. There it is again.
Yeah.
There it is again, and the 3, of course. Now let me ask you a question. Do you don't post them all at one time? You post them like.
No.
What is your posting frequency?
So I would say posting once a day is ideal, but I know that it's quite impossible for a lot of photographers. So for me personally, I try to post at least once a week. Or if I have done a photo shoot and I have a lot of pictures that I want to share, I'll still space them out to post them day by day. So I'll never post 2 pictures in a day because I feel like then you're kind of flooding the feed and some of the images might not get as many likes. You're posting 2 in one day.
Because you're flooding the feed.
And you know what that reminded me? There's this trend. It's kind of dying now and I'm so happy. But at some point there was this app that was really popular where you can kind of cut your image into little squares and then post them on your grid. And then once you look at the feed, you can see the full image. I hate this.
Right where it goes bang, 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 bang to make one big image.
It is the most annoying thing
super
in
hate
the
it.
world.
Now those you do have to post at one time.
Exactly.
Because if not, you're posting half an eye.
Exactly.
It's like you have to go
post all of them at the same time. So you're gonna see like 9 images that make absolutely no sense in your feed.
Right.
And it's really annoying to kind of scroll down.
But you're right. That is kind of fading. Thank goodness. That was an awful. So look at this. Daniel says, Irene, you are awesome in all caps. Best from Switzerland. Now, Rubino says.
Do you want me to read it out?
No. We know it's Robin Owen, but we like to call her Rubino.
Oh, okay.
She says my Instagram only has 6 images.
No. Why? That's my question.
Hey, that's a good question, Rubino.
Saying that gets busy. I mean,
she says I guess I better get busy.
Oh, I guess I better get busy. Yeah, you should.
Yeah,
you
Rubino,
totally
why though? We want to know why.
I always tell everyone that I feel like if not for social media and not for my YouTube channel, I don't think I would be doing the things that I'm doing right now. It definitely helped me to get out there and have my work like be known to a lot of people, and that is so valuable.
Can I say something about that? No, what you said is so important because I think a lot of people think the reason why you want more followers is just so you can get more followers and turn it into money and all these other things. The best reason to have more followers is so more people can see your work.
Yeah.
Not necessarily so more people see your work so you can make money. But when you're a photographer and you're working hard to create images, it's called sharing. You want to share it. If you get to share it with 100 people, that's great. If you get to share it with 1,000 people, that's great. Or if you're Irene, you get to share it with 278,000 people, right? And look at that on Instagram, 192,000 followers. That's crazy. But look at that top row. I mean, look at the level of the work that you're doing. And people know that when you deliver the images, like when you put them up there and they go look at your work, I mean, they're just beautiful. Look at that, 13,000 likes, 11,000 likes. I've never had 10,000 or 11,000 or 13,000 likes.
My max,
ever.
I think I had 20,000 likes.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm so glad that we found you.
While we have this on, I want to point something out that sometimes I look at my feed and I'm so particular with the way it looks that right now I can see a few images that don't quite fit into it color-wise. Like we have that one picture of the girl sitting on the chair and the one of the girl with the tool in the next row in the middle. I'm thinking of taking them out right now because then my feed will look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. And I do that sometimes. I'm totally guilty of just like deleting pictures just because they don't fit within my feed.
I'm feeling you. It really does look beautiful. I mean, it's really, really nicely done. Now, I got to tell you this, Irene. I'm not thinking at the level that you're thinking when I do my Instagram. I'm putting up I do travel only. Yeah. And I did what you were talking about when I started Instagram. Here's my cat. I don't even have a cat, but here's a fake cat. Here's fake cat. I would rent a cat for a day. So Jen has this woman that will rent you a cat. So if you want like a shot with a cat tomorrow, rent a cat. But I had all that stuff, and I would have a football shot. I'd have a behind the scenes football shot. Then I'd show a portrait, and my Instagram went nowhere, absolutely nowhere. And I'm like, doggone it, I just can't get any. It wasn't until I decided I am just going to show, but I do not sequence my feed like you do. Yeah. You sequence that feed like a boss. That is so beautifully done. Hey, can we look at Juan's feed? Because now Juan's not sequencing either, but I want you to see Juan's feed again because you can tell, scroll down. You can tell the same photographer, like Juan's got a look to his. I'm not joking here. Seriously. Juan's got a look to his. There's Meredith. So see Juan with Meredith? Meredith was our old director. Oh. And we fired her butt. No. She took some super job at a big medical place and we cried for a solid month. No. But we have Jason and he's a rock star in there. He's vice president. Awesome. We have an awesome place.
Yeah, that's very true. I feel very welcome and very comfortable here. Everyone's done such an amazing job.
You're welcome to come back anytime. Anytime at all. All right. Hey, there's me. Look. And so anytime Juan puts a picture of me in a feed, well, then I'm even more liking. Oh, only 90 likes. Juan, give me some more likes, please. Anyway, everybody go follow Juan.
We got a question that I see that's pretty interesting. Ooh. So someone is asking me about thoughts on image size on Instagram that is not square. So me personally, I was really excited when they finally had the portrait style and the landscape style on Instagram because at some point I was so focused on my Instagram that I would actually, whenever I was shooting something, I would specifically already in my mind think, I want to make sure that it's going to look nice as a square. And I don't really want to do it, you know? So for me as a portrait photographer, I love the portrait style on Instagram. Another reason why I love it is because it takes so much space on your phone. So whenever you're scrolling down, if the picture takes a lot of the screen, it really makes you stop and look at it. So I love the portrait style. For landscapes, see, that's the opposite because the landscapes are tiny on Instagram feed.
Here's what I want to do. I am going to, I don't have a cord. Well, on the break, I'm going to get a cable and feed my phone in. Because I want people to see what you're talking about. And I can feed my phone into my computer, which feeds into the control room.
Yeah, so you can scroll and see
because what she's talking about is there's my feed. There it was. So look at my feed, though, real quick. If you go down, while it looks consistent, it's not put up in any kind of order. Look, I'm like in St. Lucia, and then
I do love your feed, though.
Well, you're very kind.
Because everything, like you said, makes sense and it's one style and you can definitely see that these are your images and they're cool. Another thing that's really important for me personally is quality over quantity, and every single picture is beautiful. Every single picture is not a snapshot. It's something that it's those kind of pictures that you want to put in your portfolio that you really want to show. So for me, I'll choose only 3 or 2 images from the whole photo shoot that I feel like are the absolute best, and only then I'll post it on my. Only the
Wow.
best.
So your thoughts on image size on Instagram? It's not square. So you do like the wide,
The portrait.
Oh, you like the
specifically.
tall.
Yeah, the
and
tall ones.
if somebody can grab me
great.
I just need a cable, like a, what do you call it? A lightning cable. Maybe somebody in the booth will grab me a lightning cable. Let's see what else. Ickeldot, who is a great UK-based sports photographer, says, I just followed you, by the way, even though there's no rugby. Ickeldot he is such a lights out photographer. Yeah. He's really good.
Maybe I'll have to do a rugby themed photo shoot, like girls playing rugby.
Absolutely. Hey, Jay Bruno says your work is magical. People will find you.
Thank you.
Sue Sanders wants to know, what are some tips to grow your YouTube channel?
Oh, YouTube channel. Okay, YouTube is a little bit different than Instagram, but a lot of similar things apply to any social media, really. What's really interesting about YouTube that I found out is that the quality of your video doesn't matter as much as content. So as long as you're putting out content that's really interesting, that's innovative, and you're really showing your personality in it, that's all that matters. So many people always ask me or tell me, I would love to start a YouTube channel, but I don't have a good camera. I don't have a good microphone. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Film it on your phone. People are going to watch it if you have something really cool to show. So yeah, quality content, and it doesn't even matter if you have crappy quality. That's what I found. What else? Posting frequently. Same with like any other social media. You have to post frequently. For my YouTube now, I try twice a week or at least once a week. If I don't post for a week, I can see the analytics go down like immediately.
So you know what? There's a saying about that. If you don't feed the fish, they will die.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't keep content consistently on your site, your numbers, like you said, you can see it in the analytics
right
drop
away.
like a rock.
And it can be a little bit hard whenever you're making videos, especially if those are the ones that I do when I'm photographing most of the time, because sometimes I don't feel inspired to go out and do a photo shoot, but I feel like I have to put out the video. So it can be a little bit hard sometimes to find inspiration, every day and come up with new content all the time. But you definitely have to really work hard to produce something at least once a week.
So the next time you're stuck and you're at your house and you're stuck for inspiration, go to _, Juan Alfonso on Instagram, and you will get inspired. That's what we all do. You got a lot of questions coming in, so I'm just going to I'm going to go through them. David says, your work rocks. I am an urban fashion photographer.
Oh, that's cool.
Very cool.
I love it.
Axel says, hi, Irene. Is it advisable to reset my Instagram since I have old photos that are not good and I have new, better ones?
Depends how far in your feed those pictures are. If you really feel like those pictures don't represent your work anymore, you can just delete them. I wouldn't reset it completely with just starting with the blank space. If you already have some followers on that Instagram, just delete those pictures and start posting your new ones. But to be honest, if you scroll down my feed, I have some images there that are pretty old and I don't like them as much anymore, but I just keep them there, just to remind myself where it all started. So yeah, if they're far in your feed, I think that's true.
Hey, Patrick McDonald says, I just followed Irene. Amazing images. Rick says, how do you transfer images from your camera to Instagram? That's a pain in the butt, Rick. I'll just tell you, it's a pain in the butt. I'm just going to straight up. It's amazing that in this day and age.
Yeah, they should do something better.
The better camera you have, the harder it is to get it to your computer.
True. And
right. What is your camera? What's your main camera? So
my setup is a Canon 5D Mark III, and
Very
I
nice.
pretty much always use my 85mm 1.
Do you have a 1.1?
I wish.
I know, because then you'd be shooting one.
Canon make one.
So, well, that's a great setup.
Mm-hmm.
I have that. That lens is awesome. I have that lens. It's
so good.
It's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how often do you shoot? Now, this is just, nobody's asking this question but me, but now that I'm here and I love your work, how often do you shoot at 1.2 or 1.4?
All the time.
So all of those photos, well, I can see some of them
are literally at 1.2.
Wow, your focus is spot on, because the depth of field
Years
on those.
Of practice.
Seriously, that your focus.
Yeah.
Those they're all at 1.2.
I have a very, very steady hand.
Oh, that's ridiculous, though.
Actually, in my class, that's where we talk about how to nail your focus, shoot wide open. I'm sharing tips there.
Dang.
Yeah. So that's coming up for anyone
Dang.
that has troubles shooting wide open. But to be honest, it just takes some practice. I've had that lens for how many years? I would say probably 4 or 5 years. When I upgraded to the full frame camera, it was on my radar like right away. I followed a lot of portrait photographers on 500px at that time, and all of them were shooting with the 85, and I knew that this is the lens for me. So when I got it, I just kind of fell in love, and since then I'm shooting with that lens. Like,
Dang.
I've had this setup forever.
That bad boy's magical. Carl from Colorado just says, I just went to look at Irene's pictures. Very nice. Great work. Amazing. Ickeldot says, I use Lightroom Mobile to get my pics onto my phone or iPad.
That's a really good one. I've been using that recently. But me personally, I like drop.
But you still have the images. You still have the images on your camera. So they're in your 5D Mark III. You're not using wireless or anything.
You mean like I would never post an unedited image.
Right. So first you got to get it from the camera to your computer.
Yes.
Do your post-processing there. Now, you could get it from your camera. If you like the 5D Mark IV has built-in wireless, you could go to the Canon app.
My 5D Mark III unfortunately doesn't have Wi-Fi, which is weird. Yeah, it doesn't.
YouTube should send you a 5D Mark IV. YouTube owes it to you. All right. Daniel says, Irene, you have one more follower now. All right. So Phil says, and I think this is a question that will answer itself by looking at her feed. But Phil says, how do you feel about a watermark across your images in Instagram?
Yeah. I just don't like watermark in general. Yeah. It really ruins it for me. And you know what? I find my pictures on other profiles on Instagram all the time. Like, people do take my images and reuse them and like to post them. But the thing is that it's going to happen anyways. If someone really wanted to take my picture, they would remove the watermark and use it anyways.
Getting rid of a watermark usually is a no-brainer.
That's just, that's what it comes with, showcasing your stuff online. It's out there, and someone can take it. And for me, it's just not worth it, really. Watermarking it and just ruining it. Yeah.
So true.
No watermark.
Hey, we're going to take a short break. And by that, I mean however long it takes. We're going to take a short break. We got a lot more questions and comments coming, and we're trying to get to as many of them as we can. We're talking about how to build your audience in social media. Just want to mention before we go to break, Photoshop World registration's open. It is the world's greatest 3-day event. So if you want to come and learn about Photoshop and lighting and Lightroom and all kinds of stuff, graphic design, anything to do with Photoshop or Lightroom or love on Valentine's Day, go to photoshopworld.com. It is coming up in Orlando, Florida. This year's conference is in Orlando, Florida, May 31st, 1st and 2nd. And people like Chiqui Nando will be there. He will be there, Chiqui Nando. Chiqui Nando is coming from Portugal. So there it is. There's the Photoshop World website. Look at those happy people. Apparently no men attend Photoshop. Oh, there's a couple guys back there. All right, good. So anyway, come to Photoshop World and you will have such a blast. And you know who's going to be at Photoshop World? Juan will be at Photoshop World. And you can actually see the man behind the Instagram account in person. Juan will be all over. You know who else will be there? Jen. Oh, yeah, from Friends, not you, another Jen. Steve, who just walked in there, will be here. Steve, what are you doing on the set?
I wish I was there.
I wish I was there now. Steve's our director of video. If he only comes in if there's a problem. So, hey, Victoria Pavlov, let me say her full name. Photoshop World instructor and brilliant digital artist Victoria Pavlov says, yay, Photoshop World. So I had to kind of say the whole thing there. Hi, Victoria. Victoria Pavlov. Awesome. Victoria. Deb Usilka says, I will be there. Mark Rodriguez says, can't wait to be there again this year. Photoshop World rocks. So you've always wanted to go. This should be the year. Go to photoshopworld.com. Sign up now while it's still cheap. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about Steve's hair. Don't go away. It's time to drink. That's a long jib shot right there, buddy.
Have you ever wanted to learn
I'm
Photoshop?
like, please go to break.
Of course, everybody wants to learn Photoshop. You know why? It's Photoshop. But here's the thing. It just takes so long. Or does it? what if I could get you up and running and really have you start doing the stuff that people really want to do, and I can have you do it in just 1 hour. If that sounds good to you, come watch my class. It's called Learn Photoshop in just 1 hour. We're going to cover so many things in just 1 hour. You are not going to believe how much you're going to learn. And here's what's going to happen. You're going to start at not knowing Photoshop. An hour later, you're going to go, son of a gun, I know Photoshop. Come with me on this journey. It's 1 hour that will change your life, will teach an awesome new skill, and it's exclusively here at KelbyOne.
Hello, I am Trey Ratcliffe, and I'm here to show you some new software. I just completed a new course for KelbyOne for this thing called Photograph Pro. What's Photograph Pro? Well, it allows you to take any still image and animate it. You know, there's not a lot of new stuff in photography nowadays, and this thing to me is just incredible. It might look a little complex, but really anyone can do this. And just super fun. I think you're gonna have a blast with it. Oh, I could just look at that all day. Remember, this is a single photo. This is a picture I took in the Valley of Fire. Man, I just can't get enough of this stuff. I love it. I love it. And I hope you love it too. All right, well, come sign up for the class. You'll have a great time. We go through lots of examples together. I can't wait for you to see this software. So join me.
Hey, Rick Salmon here. Thanks for joining me. I hope you can really check out my latest class here, my 14th class here on KelbyOne. It's called 20 Time Proven Rules of Composition. Now, before you write me the email, oh, Rick, there are no rules. That's true. These are really recommendations. You'll learn how to break the rules. You'll also learn about some of my photo philosophies. But when it comes down to it, remember that composition really is the strongest way of seeing. So again, I hope you enjoy the class. I'm Rick Salmon. I'll see you online.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Platypod, the world's most compact tripod base.
I'm going to actually switch to the...
Actually, you know what? Go that. Yeah, because the next
view.
one is actually more of a landscape.
Hold on.
It's
I want this one.
It's
Here we
not
go.
really a square, but you see how it's smaller?
Yeah.
So, because this picture is shot in landscape mode, but because it would make it so small, I had to cut it kind of into a square. Same with this. This one is a square.
Look how much those take, how much space those tall ones take up.
Yeah, and this is a square as well. They just take less space.
Yep, squares
They're
do.
not as don't stop you as much as this, right? This
Right.
takes more space.
Yep, it does. Very nice. And if I come to a naughty one, quick go to black. Because these, it seems like she's getting less and less clothes every one here.
My images are, I like to call them like
Naughty.
sensual and
Oh,
feminine.
sensual, yeah.
I love the word sensual. And I do like a little bit of like, you know, sexy in there, but it's all very classy and very like timeless.
You know who else likes the word sensual? No, sorry, Juan. I just can't stop. Anyway, your images are beautiful. You're getting so many nice comments in the
yes, thank you.
Thank you
so much.
In the
everyone.
place where people comment, I guess. Sorry. So I want to stay on this topic. Hey, I do want to mention a couple of really important things here. I just briefed over that there's a new Lightroom. There is a new Lightroom. It's Lightroom Classic. The update is version 7.2. It is so much faster. People are doing benchmarking on the web, and people are showing certain parts are 5 times as faster. Mm-hmm. I mean, these aren't Adobe saying it. These are. So it's not from the manufacturer. It is people that are out there testing it. They've had a big breakthrough in speed. So
this
Lightroom's
is why
much
I
faster.
don't use Lightroom, because it was so slow.
What do you use? Photo Mechanic?
I'll use a Camera Raw in my for any adjustment.
Irene, I'm shocked. No, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. As long as you don't use the bridge, we're cool.
I do. No, I don't. Sometimes I open it by mistake.
That's
and I
exactly.
get really confused.
That's exactly what happens when you open the bridge. You go, "Whoops! I opened that by mistake."
Yeah.
You know what they say? We know what we say. There's a reason why the bridge is free. Anyway, so much faster. You'll be amazed, especially bringing in thumbnails and stuff.
Because the only time I ever used Lightroom was when I used to shoot weddings and I had to edit batch images and you know, with the same kind of preset. But for my work, just camera. But I'll have to check it out.
Apparently, we're selling Lightroom here today. But anyway, it is better. But they added all kinds of other stuff. And anyone that's been to one of my seminars in the last year where we've talked about working in collections instead of folders, now all you have to do to make any folder a collection is just right-click on it and choose Make It a Collection. Or you can make a collection set. It's wonderful what they've done with it, and the speed is really, really great. So anyway, so that was one thing. There were two other things I wanted to talk about, but no one will ever move the teleprompter, so I will just go look at it. Hey, I got a real quick trailer. So you guys know that I did a class called Mastering the Natural Light Portrait Shoot, and then I did. Oh, don't even talk to me. Don't speak to me. I did a part 2 on the post-processing. I got a trailer. We just did the trailer today, and it goes live tomorrow, Jen. It is Jen, isn't it? Is it okay if I call you Jen? Jen says okay. Goes live tomorrow, according to Jen, and Jen would know because she's the powerful overlord of when things happen. So we just have like a 60-second, 40-second, some number of seconds trailer. Let's take a quick look at it here. This is the first viewing of this trailer. I haven't even seen the finished one, and if it's bad, I'm going to go yell at Leighton. So here we go.
Well, hi, folks, and welcome to part 2 of Mastering the Natural Light Portrait. In this class, we're going to pick up right where the other class left off. We're going to take the same images that we shot in that class, and I'm going to take you through the entire post-processing. Now, some of the times it'll be very subtle stuff. Sometimes it'll take a lot more. Sometimes we'll add even special effects to get that final look that we're looking for. But not only are you going to learn it all, I'm going to give you all of the high-resolution original RAW files so you can download them and follow right along with the class. So check out my new class, Mastering the Natural Light Portrait Part 2 Post-Processing, and that's found exclusively here at KelbyOne.
All right, so that comes out tomorrow, whenever that is. So hope you'll check it out if you checked out Part 1. If you haven't checked, watch Part 1, because I take the images and then I do the same one. I just said that in the ad, so there's no sense in. That was the trailer. All right. Hey, Blue Tie says, I'm headed back to Photoshop World after a 5-year break. Can't wait. Rose Kieran, all the way from New Zealand, says, can't wait to meet you at Photoshop World. We got a big hug for you, Rose, when we see you there. And Rabino Wen says, I'm so excited about Photoshop World. I learned so much, but the best part is the social aspect, meeting all of you and the Grid family. Oh, Rabino Wen. We adopted Rabino Wen. She became one of us last year. We had a ceremony in which she's no longer Robin Owen, but she became Rabino Wen. All right, Dave says, we really need to do a grid meetup at the bar at the hotel. We are definitely going to do. I don't know if it'll be at the bar, but it'll be somewhere. All right, Chris Dye says, will you be attending WPPI, Irene, in Vegas? Are you going to be there?
I really wanted to go. I've never been to Vegas, actually.
Oh, really?
So I really wanted to go, but not.
No, I love Vegas.
But not this year. But honestly, the next one, I'm going to be there. It's going to be like my goal.
You know, you would be their queen, right? You would be there. You'd walk around and you're like, I am the queen of this show. I will be there for one day and I will be acting as queen in her place.
It would be so much fun. I love meeting people.
Oh, yeah, you would dig WPPI.
Whenever I go to a new place, well, this time I just didn't have the time, but whenever I travel, I like to set up little meetups with whoever follows YouTube or Instagram. So, like, see face-to-face with people and kind of have a chat.
Do creepy guys show up? Do creepy, like, stalker guys show up?
No, I've never had that. Maybe they are, but they don't say it.
You haven't been to Florida. This is your first time in Florida. That's all that's going to show up here. Austin Burke says, I'm so excited to go to Photoshop World again after last year. Such a fun experience. Boy, this is like, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Susie Q says, I'm trying to get there this year. Susie, don't try. Do. What is it? Do try. What does Yoda say? Oh, I'm asking Jen. I looked at Jen for the answer of what Yoda says.
And I'm a foreign person.
Last week we had Jen on and we did a pop trivia quiz.
I heard about it.
She actually did stunningly well. But so all right, now I'm going to ask you a question, and this is the one that Jen missed.
Me?
I'm going to ask you.
I'm a foreign person.
That's okay. But what I'm going to talk about is so.
Yeah.
Can you name any song by the Rolling Stones?
We just talked about it, and I don't know. She doesn't. I feel horrible.
You've heard of the Rolling Stones.
Of course. Everyone heard of the...
Not Jen. Jen's like, the Rolling Stone? No, Stones. She goes, the magazine. No. No, it wasn't like that.
I felt validated though. Yeah, I don't know.
Jen's celebrating. All right. Hey, we don't have that much longer, so I want to roll on. Elio says, what do you think about Repost? Okay, so Repost is an app, and they are now. So Repost is an app that lets you post other people's images on your Instagram feed. However, they are now Instagram announced, and they are testing it with select users, the ability for anyone to do that. How do you feel about people reposting your images?
Oh, it's totally fine. I would prefer if they actually use the app, because then the proper credit is on there.
The proper credit goes with it.
Because I'm totally down for people reposting my images as long as they credit me as the photographer. That only helps my Instagram. You know, if they're sharing my work,
I feel the same way.
But what I don't like about the Repost app, just in general, the way it looks on someone's feed, because you will have that little like word at the very bottom that says repost app.
Yep.
And then it like mentions the person. That I just don't like the way it looks.
Well, it might look better when Instagram does it natively.
Yes, I'm pretty sure they would probably look better, and then it would be awesome.
Right. Yeah. So I think it's a great thing. I'm very waiting for it. Ben helped us out here. Ben says, do or do not. There is no try. So that was Susie Q. Do or do not. There is no try. And that comes from Yoda. And you know, if it comes from Yoda, say it, Jen. Nothing. Blank face. She goes,
I was reading the comments.
And she's completely frozen, as if made of a chunk of ice. Now, the next thing I was going to mention that is actually here on my thing is last week we announced the winner of our gallery contest. So you guys know that we fly people in. Did you get to go see the gallery while you were here? No. Did you walk through the gallery?
Oh, yeah, I've seen the pictures.
They're amazing, right?
They are, and I love that you guys have pictures everywhere here. Really.
We love pictures.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to mention we were going to congratulate Ian Monroe, who is our winner, and I see he's here. He says, "Hey guys, I just tuned in. Super excited to visit you all for the gallery next month." So Ian's coming from the UK, and we're going to host him here for an opening. It'll be all of his images in the entire gallery.
That's so cool.
He's crazy. He is so good. He is both photographer and Photoshop genius, and just creative.
What kind of photography?
He does, I'm going to say fine art. What would you say, Jen? Fine art?
I mean, it's like portraits, and they're very interesting. All like,
yeah, they are whimsical fine art, but they're not like way whimsical. I mean, they're not like fantasy or crazy or goofy. Yeah. They're very clever. They're just
fine art would be probably a good word.
What was it?
Fine art, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine art. Yeah, but really good stuff. I mean, and so we're excited. He has those images where you just can't wait to see them printed. Yeah. You can't wait to see them big, because we see them on Instagram this big. We're going to see his pictures this big all over the gallery. Awesome. It's going to be amazing. All right. Tammy says, I love Instagram, but I'm careful only to post my best and not more than one a day. That's pretty much best practices, right?
Yeah. For me personally, I don't like posting more than one a day.
Yeah.
I just find that if I post one image, it's going to get attention of a lot of people. And then if I'm going to post another one right after that or in a few hours, it usually doesn't get as many likes. And I think it's really important to have a high number of likes. See, numbers are important. Whenever someone sees that you already have a high number, they're more likely to follow you.
Sure, they think.
And same with likes. If it has already a big amount of likes, they're more likely.
Absolutely, because you're already proven. Yeah. People are like, you don't get that many followers. You don't get 100,000+ followers unless you're bringing something to the party.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, what's interesting is what you're seeing there is once again.
These are my old pictures.
No, this is Juan's feed now. Juan has taken these photos and added them to his feed using Regram.
You see, yeah, I do have a lot of my old images in there, and I just like to keep.
Yeah, but you know what? Your old images are better than most people's brand new images. So, and there is that nice 3 photos from the same shoot.
Yeah. See, then I posted 4. Now
this is very inspiring. Very inspiring.
Thank you. Thank
you
so much.
Very nice. These are wonderful. Hey, while we're scrolling, keep scrolling because eventually we'll find nudity. No, I'm just kidding. That would be. Hey, let's go look at Jen's feed. Well, okay, wait. Before we look at Jen's feed, what's the rating on your feed?
NC-17.
It's NC-17.
As well.
It's sensual.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. All right. So let's go. Let's bring up Jen's. Jen's very. Have you ever seen Jen's photography?
I
She's
have.
good, right?
Yeah, she is.
Oh, this is not. You're on Instagram. Here we go. We're clicking on the Instagram. Oh, that's naughty.
Sorry.
Oh, she did the split thing.
I love this.
Oh, now do you post them both? So Jen is saying off camera, "I love the split thing,"
Also,
and she says, "Now, did you post those at the same time, like 1, 2?"
but if I do like a lot, I try to do it. No, totally. And another thing that I noticed on Jen's feed that I would personally take out is the black bars. So you see how she had a portrait shot?
Yeah.
And you can see the black bars or like and I totally get it because you want to fit it into like a square or whatever. I think they look messy in the feed. You know what I mean? Look at that.
Yeah.
You're like scrolling down and then
I'm with you,
the
Jen.
landscape and then the portrait you see, because some pictures have it and some pictures don't. Now, if you want to have them, then every single picture should have the black bar.
So you know what's kind of interesting though? Scroll up a little bit. Can I show you a particular picture?
Yeah.
Right there, right in the middle. That looks like a screen capture from a movie
It
with the
does.
letterbox.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. That if you like that, you can keep the theme, but
And
then,
the guy next to him.
yeah, but then every single shot should look like that.
Yeah.
Everything that you
Oh,
post
yeah.
should have
She's
the black bars. You know,
Jen,
because you see over
she's-
there is a car, like a car wheel and all
Right.
of that. I mean, I would just take it out completely out of the feed.
Yeah,
Or
and
if you really like it, but then the black bars should be on all.
yeah, she's right. Now that she says that, good feedback. Good feedback. All right, but you know what? The black bar thing could work. I mean, if you do it consistently.
I've
But Jen,
seen-
you can't do tall
Yes.
and wide.
Another thing.
You got to do wide or all tall.
Another thing that I want to just quickly mention, I prefer white bars because on your Instagram feed, they're going to blend in with the background of an Instagram and it's going to look a little bit better, in my opinion. I know few photographer friends that do that. They put white bars on the side and it actually looks pretty good. So I would recommend white bars and then every single picture should have it.
All right. First off, go follow Jen Coffin, JenCoffin. Go follow Jen. Number 2, Jen, you see where it says JEN for your name? Juan will loan you his New York Yankees cap if you want to have Irene take a picture of you where you look all mean and everything.
That's right. I'm good.
All right. But there's still some great images there. Make sure you go follow Jen Coffin on Instagram. Well, my friends, we've kind of run out of time because here's why. It's Valentine's Day. I've got a date tonight, and I promised my date, and I'm taking my daughter. I got her chocolates and a card because I want her to grow up knowing whoever your boyfriend or husband is, they better never forget about Valentine's Day. Better not. All right. Whale, W-A-E-L. Whale says, the Flash book really made me love my Flash. Thanks, Scott. Hey, thank you very much. That's very kind.
Maybe I should read it. I have bad relationships with Flash.
You don't need it. I tell you what, I don't even know. Stefan. Hi, Stefan. So Stefan is a tremendous photographer. He does shoot portraits. He's really, really good high-end photographer from Australia.
He has a good question.
Hey, yeah, he has a really great question. Let's see if you can go find Stefan's. I don't know what his account is. Maybe he'll tell us, but it could be StephanBollinger. Stefan Bollinger. See if you can go find his Instagram. He's really, really good. His question is, what's the most successful time to post in the United States? Let's ask a native Ukrainian. No,
Well,
you don't even live in the United States.
No, I live in Canada,
You live in
but
Canada.
most of my followers, both on YouTube and Instagram, are from United States, so I always aim for that, and I think most people do. What I found, actually, I don't. It kind of depends on where you are in the world because it will be different. But I find that early, if you're posting your images
Yep.
early in the morning, they do the best. So for me personally, in Canada, I live in Calgary. I post my images at around 9:30 or 9 a.m. Here in Florida, that would be 2 hours ahead. So that would be like 11 a.m. But I would aim morning for sure.
Morning it is. You know, like I use
Like stats.
The other one. Yeah, you can actually, and it shows for me. Mine are either early in the morning or late at night.
Instagram. You can go into your statistics on Instagram.
You can go into your statistics. It'll tell you when your shots got the most.
Yes.
There's Stefan's. Look at his stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Keep going.
Oh, I love the ballerina shot. We shot like ballerina inspired.
Look how good he is.
Yeah, I love the moody portrait.
He's very good.
I think I've seen this work.
Well, yeah, he's been around. He's like the man. He's somebody else you need to follow on Instagram. I think it's him right there in the middle with the little video. Mm-hmm. I know because we've done I did a podcast with him.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful work.
Look at, isn't that? So go follow him. It is just what I thought it was. Stefan Bollinger. STEPHANBOLLINGER. And go follow him right away. Go follow Juan. Go follow Jen. You're already following Irene. Everyone in the world is already, but just in case. All right. And you know what? Deb says you do beautiful work, Irene. Doug Evans, beautiful work. Kevin Stewart, wonderful show. Love her picks. Irene, you have been just wonderful and a wealth of information. Really good stuff. Jen is in tears, but but the rest of us are like, oh yeah. So Cheeky Nando asked, are you still using Okana Square? Yeah, I do, Cheeky. Cheeky Nando. Yes, I do use it. That's how I knew the best times for me to post are either very late at night, after 11 p.m., or literally 5 a.m. Eastern time. So for me, really early.
The earlier, the better, I feel like, because then it's going to be in the feed of a lot of people. You know, a lot of people wake up and they start scrolling on their Instagram. So the earlier, the better.
There you go. All right. Now, we've talked about your Instagram. Where else can people learn about you? You have a website, of course.
Actually, my website in the works right now, as I used to have a more client-geared website, but now it's changing into more tutorials and kind of educational stuff. So right now, I would suggest you can find me on my YouTube channel. Just type in Irene Rudnyk into your YouTube search. Or actually, if you're following me on Instagram, there is a link in my bio that you can click on and go straight to my YouTube channel. I post educational videos about photography every week, sometimes twice a week. You can find a lot of behind the scenes, Photoshop tutorials. Just a lot of fun stuff there.
and for those of you who are watching on a small screen, so her last name is spelled Rudnyk. So you'll find her on YouTube. And if you just type in Irene R, it seems like your name just pops right up on every social media. They're like, once you get a lot of followers, they figure you're probably looking for Irene, aren't you?
And I have like a weird last name, so there's not that many Rudnyks out there that are doing photography. If you type in Irene R on YouTube or on Google, a lot of times it's gonna pop up.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. There was one other thing I wanted to mention before we left. What was it? Oh, so this is interesting. Do you know Glenn Dewis, photographer from the UK?
I'm horrible with names. I've probably seen something, and then I'm really good with faces. But
you whether you realize or not, you saw some of his images hanging on our walls here. He's a wonderful photographer. So he's a really good photographer and post-processing guy. Photoshop World Instructor, I mentioned. Then we've got also Dave Clayton, Photoshop World Instructor, both KelbyOne instructors. So they're like you, they're KelbyOne instructors. Oh, yeah. And they started a brand new podcast. Oh, cool. And Dave is a graphic designer. So it's got a really cute name. It is called He Draws, He Shoots.
I love that, yeah.
So it's Dave Clayton and Glenn. I think this is week 2. And if you go look on my Twitter feed at scottkelby.com, you'll find links to it, or you can just go to Glenn Dewis, or what's Dave's? What is he, the real Dave Clayton, or is he? Dave Clayton's got many, many names. Let me just go. There it is. He shoots, he draws. Man, Jason's fast. That's it right there over at glendewis.com. But they got a brand new podcast. It's actually out right now. I think they're on episode number 2.
I'll have to check it out. I love podcasts whenever I'm editing. I need to have some kind of background noise, and podcasts are
let me tell you, it's noise. When Dave Clayton talks, it is freaking noise. Hey, Melanie Kern-Favilla. So Melanie is another KelbyOne instructor like you, and she won the gallery contest as well. And she says Glenn and Dave's podcast is great, and she put it in all caps, and she wouldn't do it in all caps if it weren't true, because I know Melanie.
Yeah, I'll have to check out for sure.
All right. Well, so people can find you on Facebook where?
On Facebook /Irene Rudnyk.
Ooh, there you go. Where can people find Jen? Jen Coffin? On Instagram.
Everywhere.
Where can people find Juan Alfonso? _ Started with an underscore. You know why? Because there are 7,000 Juan Alfonsos in the world. All right. Oh, Piotr. Hi, Piotr from London says, Dave Clayton it's Dave Clayton on Twitter, I guess. It's Dave Clayton. Hey, Piotr, I got your letter. Thank you very much. Piotr sent me a very nice letter.
That's so nice.
It's weird is that it was threatening, but still nice at times. Anyway, thank you guys. Juan, you've done a beautiful job today. Jason and the crew in the booth and Ron. Enar, you're the best audience we've had today. Thank you for being there. Focus on Nature, that's your website. So he is, when I made a joke about him being the king of Iceland. So I'm not kidding. He's the king of Iceland photography.
And Iceland is so beautiful.
Right, and he is their king. He is the king of Iceland photography. He leads the workshops there. He does seminars there. He literally is like
That's awesome.
king. Everybody knows him in Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
He knows everybody.
So when I go to Iceland, I should contact
Absolutely. If you want to go on, because he knows
all the places.
He knows all the places,
Yeah,
and he has a
that.
vehicle that is designed for it. He has
Oh, that's so cool.
a custom Mercedes van.
Really?
It seats 10. It's like got built-in
dedication.
satellite Wi-Fi.
Oh, wow.
It goes anywhere, and he
That is
knows
so cool.
he knows spots that only he
should make
knows.
YouTube videos.
He should make YouTube videos. There he is, right there. Focus on Nature. Jason is on the ball back there. There it is. And he's great. And everybody that works with him or has done anything with him now, I've had dinner with him so far. So I had dinner in Iceland. We met up, but we are planning on doing a workshop, he and I, this year. So
Did you eat any Icelandic food?
I did eat Icelandic food. I had the best Icelandic pizza you've ever seen. So anyway, go to Focus on Nature and you'll find all about him. If you're going to Iceland and you want to go places no one's been, go there first. Look for Enar and feel the love on Valentine's Day. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will catch you next time. Thank you, Irene. You were awesome, awesome. See you guys next time.
See ya. Bye.
Chiquinando. That's the word to take you out.
This segment of The Grid is brought to you by Westcott, professional photo and lighting equipment.
Hey guys, Christy from Shark Pixel here, and come join me and my Shark Squad April 20th through 22nd in Orlando for Photoshop World Before I Get Eaten!
Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here. I want to tell you about my brand new class for people who are just getting started in photography. It's called Beginners Start Here, and I go through all the stuff. It really is a lot about camera gear and settings because it's the most important stuff you need to know right now. Now, I do something in this class you're not going to see anybody else do. Nobody wants to do this, but I did it. I'm going to give you my favorite f-stops. I'm going to tell you which lenses to use for what. I'm going to treat the whole class like you and I are out on a shoot, and if you said, hey Scott, we're out here shooting a landscape, what f-stop should I use? Boom, I'm going to tell you. Whatever we're doing, I'm going to give you the straight scoop on settings, on accessories, on the stuff that you need to know. If you're new to photography, this is going to take you to that next level. You're going to start making better pictures, you're going to do it quick, and it's exclusively here at KelbyOne. Hi everybody, Scott Kelby here, and have you ever seen like a really beautiful photo, but then the photographer like put some type over it or put some type beside it, and the type looks so bad that it like destroys the photo. You've seen it, I've seen it, we've all seen it. It's just a sad, sad thing, but it doesn't have to be that way. That's why I created this brand new class called Designing with Type. You're going to learn the fundamentals on how to design with type, and you're going to learn 4 important things. Number 1, you're going to learn a bunch of cool Photoshop type features, which is always handy. Number 2, you're going to learn exactly what not to do and why. Number 3, you're going to learn some formulas and recipes that you can use every time to create great looking type. And number 4, I'm going to share some of my most useful and favorite fonts. So check out my brand new class, Designing with Type. It's exclusively here at KelbyOne.